EMZT Radio is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download and a 30-day free trial at www.audibletrial.com/EMZT. Over 180,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. For you, the listeners of EMZT Radio Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. That's audibletrial.com/EMZT. Welcome to another episode of EMZT Radio. I'm Bane Hellborn with my partner, the infamous MJ. I know who you are.
Yeah, good. You know who I... No, folks, we should start recording the outtakes because we went and... Yeah. Somebody forgot who they were when we started recording the podcast today.
I couldn't say my name the first time around.
No, she could not say her name. She legitimately could not say her name, and I don't know why. She might have called herself Betty.
Betty.
I was like, Betty.
Black Betty.
Oh, Black Betty. Bang, bang. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And now the show has completely gone off track. Derailed. Oh, well. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are now on the verge of the Meg.
The Meg coming out on the 8th.
That's right. The Meg is coming out on the 8th. We got a whole bunch of stuff I guess we can talk about. Hey, the Vudu app. Do you have the Vudu app?
No.
You need the Vudu app.
Why is that?
Nightmare on Elm Street 1 through 5 available to stream.
Oh.
Or if you were smart like me, and last month on Friday the 13th, you went onto your Microsoft store, you got Friday the 13th all Friday the 13th movies for $8.
Oh, shit.
That's a $165 value, by the way.
Right.
Daddy knows the deal.
I did once upon a time have the full series, but I had to sell it so I could get some money to eat back then.
Food's not important.
It was killing me.
Horror is more important than food, damn it.
Yeah. But at the time, I really wanted to eat.
Yeah, I know. Unfortunately, we need that food thing to stay alive. It's a damn capitalist conspiracy is what it is.
You know, someday soon, we're going to be implanted with the solar panels in our skulls.
That would be awesome. Then I could kill somebody. But anyways, I don't know where that came from. I honestly don't. Yeah, that'll be awesome. I can kill somebody. What? What does that have to do with solar panels, Matt?
Because it means you'll have the energy to do it.
I don't know. Piss me off enough, and I have enough energy to fucking genocide. Yeah. But anyways.
Yeah.
So we got the Meg coming out this week.
Meg.
Anyways. Yeah.
Slender Man. Isn't Slender Man coming out soon too? Like the next week.
Slender Man is coming out. So we got
Yep.
a whole bunch of stuff. So let's we can get into this here in a little bit in the news. Sagamore. You like that? I like how French I went there. Sagamore.
Yeah.
Sagamore. Going French this week, kids.
It's like,
all right.
Wow.
So anyways, here's some music, EMCT Radio.
Whoa. everyone. This is Bowmine Bob from Bowling with Bobcat. You can listen to me live every Monday night at 10 p.m. Eastern at sfdradio.com, where I'm bringing you the best of the worst in cheap booze, talking bum wine, beers, 40s, malt liquor, and more. Always featuring the latest and greatest in the world of drinking and entertainment, along with some special guests. So come on down and take a ride with Bumwine Bob. If you can't be there live, you can always listen in the archives at bumwinebob.com. So sit back, relax, grab a drink, and enjoy. Cheers.
The show that puts the story back into history.
History is all about discovering the why, and I think that in that process it's important to never take the story out of history.
Making history come alive, one episode at a time.
But this is a podcast on the American Revolution for this series, and all about a free country, so do whatever the hell you want.
Visit theMondayAmerican.com to get more. Dive into the Monday American. Don't worry, we'll be gentle.
Hi, this is Dr. Death and Mr. Vile, and you are listening to EMZT Radio.
All right, so, Vane, what is your favorite horror movie based on a true story? Or a so-called, you know what, we'll say this way, a so-called true story, because there is, I think, a lot of people would shout one movie, and we have come out, and it's been found out that it basically was bunk, but it counts. So what is your favorite movie supposedly based off of real events?
Off of real events. Well, I still like The Exorcism of Emily Rose.
That's a good one. I'm always Exorcist guy because I think it's the greatest movie ever made. Mm-hmm. But yes, The Exorcist, which is ironically number one on this list I have in front of me.
Well, of course it is. It's like you told me before. It's iconic. It is. It is probably the most iconic film. We were talking off the air about Oscar wins and horror movies, and that The Exorcist was actually nominated, I believe, for 10, and only won 2, but they were nominated for 10, which is amazing. Yeah. All right, so here we go. Oh, I'm sorry. You were saying something? No. Okay. The Exorcist, for those of you who don't know, is based on a book which is based on the real life of a boy named Roland Doe who was possessed by demons in 1949. The exorcism was so scary, there have been books written on the people who witnessed it. So, all right, number 2 on the list, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, a lot of people don't. Right. I don't know how many people realize this, but it is based on Ed Gein. Yes. So. Yes. Yep. Here's one I know that you didn't think was based on supposedly true events. Nightmare on Elm Street. Oh no, that is. Yep. The Wes Craven got it from an article. Yep. The makers of this movie, it was Wes Craven, were inspired by a group of Laotian refugees who had died in the throes of a nightmare. The medical report said there was nothing wrong with them physically. Nope. Yep. They literally were scared to death. Here's another one that I didn't know was based on quote-unquote true events. But apparently it is. Child's Play. What? Yes. The script was based on a nurse who allegedly put a voodoo curse on author Robert Eugene Otto, which transformed one of his childhood dolls into a nighttime menace. No way. Yeah, so there you go. Child's Play supposedly is a real story. That's why I said supposedly. Yeah. And why did I say, why is the other reason why I said supposedly? The Amityville Horror. Yeah, that's the other one. Yeah. We don't need to go into that one. No. Here we go. Here's another one that was based on Ed Gein. Psycho. Oh, yeah. Psycho was loosely based on Ed Gein. So two movies have been made based on Ed Gein. Yep. He inspired quite a bit. He did. 2007's The Girl Next Door. Oh, yeah.
And of course, by the way, we're talking about this because Slender Man comes out in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
And it is based on the two girls that have been, I think now both of them have been convicted, haven't they?
Yes.
Of the murders?
Yes. Well, the attempted murder because she lived.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. She lived. So she's, yeah.
Yeah.
The Girl Next Door is loosely based on what is said to be the most terrible crime of Indiana State. Sylvia Likens was tortured and eventually killed by Gertrude Benokowski in 1965, and the movie inspired it. So it's The Girl Next Door, made in 2007.
Yeah, we talked about that on a Sinister Sisters episode about how these people actually committed these crimes that the movies are based on. Yeah, we talked about that one, that she inspired not only her children to do the torturing, but the neighborhood kids to do it as well.
Yep.
And she really didn't do much work.
It's
so
really,
she had the kids do it.
The story is really sick if you've never read it. It's pretty sick.
It's sick, savage, brutal, and just utterly fucked up.
And we're horror fans, so believe me, that's just saying something. All right, The Conjuring.
Mm-hmm.
We've heard the story of The Conjuring before, so we can move on to the next one. Oh, wait a minute. Did I say there were 2 movies based on Ed Gein? Make that 3.
I was gonna say there's another one.
There's a boatload of movies made on Ed Gein. Deranged is another movie.
Deranged.
Is another movie based on Ed Gein.
That's right.
Ed Gein is probably the most famous serial killer in American history.
Yeah, he only killed 2 or 3 people.
2 or 3 people, yeah. By body count, he was way down there, but he's just him and H.H. Holmes. I think might be because there's a lot of movies inspired by H.H. Holmes.
Yes.
See, when I heard originally, that's what I thought Psycho was loosely based on, was H.H. Holmes, because
no,
the hotel factor, and all that. Because
a
lot of people
it could have been, but they didn't do it that way.
Yep. All right, here's another one. Ravenous.
Right.
It's
was what is that? That group that got lost in the mountains?
Yeah.
Had to cannibalize themselves? Yeah.
Yep. The Rite, another exorcism story.
Yes.
This one was might be one of the most famous exorcisms in America. Father Gary Thomas was the one in that.
Mm-hmm.
So, a haunting. A lot of these are exorcism movies. That's another reason why I say alleged true stories, because it's kind of hard to tell what's real and what's not when it comes to an exorcism. A Haunting in Connecticut.
Yes.
That's another one.
That is a story. Yes.
Oh, this one I've seen, and this one, if you have not seen this one, you'll love it. Because me and cults, and I've actually helped out a friend of mine who has a cult podcast, a podcast on cults. Borderland.
Nope, I haven't seen that one.
You need to see this movie, not only to have some cannibalism in it. It has a lot of human sacrifice. It's based on the cult started by Adolfo de Jesus Costanzo.
Okay. Which cult was that?
We would have to go on another podcast and talk about that. The Strangers.
Yes.
Now
that was just based on an incident.
No.
Yeah. An incident where somebody knocked on the door and said, "Is Tamara here?"
Yeah.
But that was it. That's as far as it went.
It also drew inspiration by the Manson murders.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I think this was the 08, yeah. The Entity. Kind of.
Oh, yeah.
But that was Paranormal Activity before Paranormal Activity.
But it was a rapey Paranormal Activity.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was also It Follows before It Follows.
Yes.
Obviously, The Exorcism of Emily Rose. That one goes without saying.
Yeah.
The Possession.
Mm-hmm.
For those of you who have not I don't know how many people have not seen Possession. That would be weird. The movie is based on the real haunted Daibuk box story.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know that story, whoever bought the box faced its consequences. It's kind of like Hellraiser. You know, you put the puzzle box together and da-da-da-da-da. Numerous owners of the box reported strange things happening to them on eBay.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So it's probably on eBay right now. Don't get it.
Don't buy it.
Unless you want weird crap to happen.
Well, no. The whole problem is they open the box.
Yeah.
Just don't open the box. Just don't open it.
It's pretty.
It's locked for a reason.
Yep. Deliver Us from Evil.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a book. If you have not seen it, it is more of a. It took liberties with the book called Beware the Night.
Mm-hmm.
And if you've not read Beware the Night, you need to go read that book.
And that movie was full of jump scares.
Yes.
It was full of them.
Eaten Alive.
Oh.
The story is based on Joe Ball. What a name. A man who killed around 20 women and watched the alligators feed on them. Mm-hmm. That sounds hot. Anyway.
That's like an old movie, like from the 70s?
1980, yeah.
80. Oh, okay. Yeah.
How about this one? Fire in the Sky.
Alien abduction.
Yeah,
yep.
This is, and I know a lot of people have heard it before. Travis Walton is the guy. This is based on his tales.
Yes.
That he was in 19. For those of you who don't know who Travis Walton is, in 1975 he alleged that aliens abducted him and performed all these experiments, made him lie in a cocoon, you know, that sort of thing. Blah blah blah.
And
blah.
he was missing for days.
Yeah, he was missing for days. And that was basically his story on why he was missing for days.
Yeah.
Oh, finally. One of my favorite movies and one of my favorite serial killers, Curse of the Zodiac. I think that's pretty self-explanatory.
Yep.
Moving on.
Who never was caught.
Never was caught. And no, it is not Ted Cruz, because Ted Cruz is not old enough to actually be the Zodiac killer. Sorry, everybody. I hate to burst your bubble. But Ted Cruz is not old enough to actually be a legitimate serial killer. Well, he is now, but I mean, he's not old enough to be the Zodiac killer. Silent House. Now, this was based on an incident in Uruguay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have not seen that one, check that one out. Of course, Annabelle.
Yeah.
Annabelle is...
the famous Annabelle.
Yeah. So we if you don't know the story of Annabelle, well, why you're listening to this podcast to begin with, because you're not aware of horror. Here's one that was remade. I think this was actually remade in the 80s. Yeah, it was, because Corbin Burnson was in the remake of this movie.
Which one?
Dentist.
The Dentist. Have you seen the whole series?
Yes.
There's 3 of them, I believe. So it's a trilogy.
Yeah. So I think it was the late 80s or the early 90s, but Corbin Burnson was in a remake of this.
Yes.
And he was the dentist, and it is based on a real life story about a dentist that was also a serial killer.
Yes.
All right, here's another one. Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Finish up.
I was going to say that movie sparked a whole bunch of other medical horror movies, like one called The Surgeon. Yeah. Then there's also The Doctor. There's also all these medical horror movies it spawned. So it just was ridiculous.
Jeez.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Wolf Creek.
Yes.
This was based on Yvonne Mallett and Bradley John Murdoch.
In the Outback.
Yes, in the Outback, where they're... That's why Mama never told you to talk to strangers. You'll become violently disfigured and die. And, of course, The Conjuring 2.
Uh-huh.
So there are 26 horror movies that are loosely based or actually based on so-called or on true stories or something of that nature.
like a sliver of an incident. Yeah.
Or in certain movies' cases, made up stories that the owner tried to sell the house for more money.
Right.
Amityville Horror. But,
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyways, so back to some music here on EMZT Radio.
I'm not your peace, I'm not your war, I'm not your paradise. Not your soul, I'm not your rest, I'm not your breath of life. Can you wake me from this dream as soon as you decide that you can't break me, you can't take me down with your advice? Names I wasn't born with, are you fucking lame? I'm not your toy, I'm not your test, I'm not your pickup game. I will not bend until I break, and I'm not yours to claim. Your sick desperation slowly driving me insane. I'm not your bitch. Just take the hint. Crying narcissist, mama's boy, still not weak. From your bad breath, your intellect, and your small penal feet. Your eyes are shifting, I say no, pussy grab today. So take the chance and kick your fucking ass today. I'm not your bitch. Just take the hint. Still not your bitch. You wanna mansplain to me a little more? What are you looking at? You see, it is impossible for you to understand that I am a fully actualized human being with my own thoughts, desires, and abilities. Separate from your force-fed corporate commercial fiction that fails to align with reality. Your misogyny is the antithesis of human kindness and compassion. Do not expect a woman to accept less money, less safety. We won't accept your agenda of injustice against us and our POC brothers. We will not participate in our oppression.
You're versatile.
I'm not your bitch. Just take the hint. I'm not your bitch. Just take a hint. Still not your bitch.
Hi everybody, Miss Starling here for Starling's All-American Lamb Chops. Have you thought about dinner tonight? I know I have. Usually, it's some cow, there's some chicken, and some pig roaming around somewhere. Well, have you thought about lamb? Lamb's all natural, it's all great, and plus it ain't that bad for the environment like them nasty cows and them nasty pigs. Starling's All-American Lamb Chops, made right here in our farms in West Virginia. You can't get any better grass-fed lamb than what you see in the stores. Remember, it's got to have the name Starling written on it for it to be high quality. That's right, we only ship the highest quality lamb meat all around these great United States. God bless America. I sure do love it. That's Starling's All-American Lamb Chops. It's guaranteed to make you scream for more.
Hey guys, this is Jules Murray, and you're listening to EMZT Radio.
From HuluWatcher.com, Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles being adapted into new Hulu series. Now that Anne Rice has acquired the theatrical rights to her books, The Vampire Chronicles, she's turning them into a TV series that'll stream exclusively on Hulu. With the rights to Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles back where they belong, the beloved title can finally be told the way it should be. There's no arguing Neil Jordan's Interview with the Vampire was an excellent film, but Anne Rice is ideally the person we want to tell the story. Luckily, that'll be the case with Hulu's adaptation of the vampire epic. After much deliberation over which outlet to use, Anne Rice has settled on Hulu. She and Christopher Rice have signed a deal to turn the Vampire Chronicles into a Hulu exclusive. The series is said to be based on the first 3 novels of Rice's collection, which consists of Interview with the Vampire, The Vampire Lestat, and Queen of the Damned. Following Jordan's Interview with the Vampire, Queen of the Damned was also adapted into a movie. The 2002 film starred Aaliyah as Akasha and Stuart Townsend, who wound up replacing Tom Cruise as Lestat. It was intended to be the continuation of sorts, but the connectivity fell short on many levels, leaving many fans of the novels displeased. As far as casting on the Hulu series goes, no one is attached to it yet. In fact, the series doesn't even seem to have a showrunner at the moment. Brian Fuller was set to helm the project, but has since stepped away. He didn't give a specific reason, but until a showrunner is chosen, there's no telling what direction the Vampire Chronicles will go in, or who will star in the series for that matter. However, Anne Rice could already have someone in mind for the role of Lestat. Back in '93, when casting was underway for Interview with the Vampire, Rice wanted Julian Sands to play Lestat. The part eventually went to Tom Cruise, but Sands was the man she eyed for the lead role. It's still early to tell if Rice has her eyes on Sands, but there's a good chance that'll be the case this time around. Sands is still active in the entertainment industry and doesn't look too old for the part. Besides, the actor could only need a bit of makeup to conceal his age if he's in line to play the lead. Whatever the case may be, it's exciting news to hear The Vampire Chronicles is going to be on Hulu. The streaming service has debuted some amazing originals, and we should expect the same from Anne Rice's Vampire Chronicles when it debuts. And you are listening to EMZT Radio.
midnight movies, don't you? But can you handle midnight movies 24 hours a day?
Your death will be indescribable.
Find out on Black Flag TV. The first viral television on the web. Black Flag TV is entirely dedicated to haunting horror, science fiction, and cult movies. Broadcasting live 24 hours a day, obscure independent movies and classic horror. Make Black Flag TV your sanctuary for the horror genre.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
Visit us now, blackflag.tv.
Jesus is back with a vengeance. You've seen the passion of the Christ. Now behold his fury. Framed for a crime he didn't commit and left for dead. Jesus is back. In American Jesus. Coming soon.
So, am I crazy?
No, honey.
But I'm talking to my dead wife in a mall surrounded by zombies. How is that not crazy?
If you're gonna talk like that, I can leave.
Then I'd just be in a mall surrounded by zombies.
Careful! Don't let them hear you. Look over here. What do you see?
Well, I see some keys in that store's lock.
And what do you see over there?
The mall courtyard. A big fake palm tree they got yellow tape around.
Just behind that?
Some of those dead things.
Keep going.
Okay, a broken skylight. What is that? There's something hanging from the roof. Oh my God! It's a person!
Yes!
Thank the Lord those things can't quite reach him, but how is he going to get down?
That's why you're here, sugar.
What do you mean? Charlene? Charlene! Now, how am I supposed to rescue him? Oh, them keys. All right, well, maybe they want to come over here and play. You boys do look kind of slow. Hey, y'all! Yeah, you! Come here, you dead things!
Wow. Get me down!
You there! Hanging from the roof! Now, you just keep quiet now. I'm fixing to pull them away from you. Let me just grab this rock. You don't like having rocks chucked at you, do you, Mr. Dead Guy? Y'all gonna do something about it? Come on, I'm right here. No, not the gumball machine's pumpkin head. Come on. There you go. Good zombie. Y'all, you bring your friends too. Oh. Well, they're coming anyway. Look over here. I'm going into the store now. Follow me. Oh, jeez. Catch up, you lazy pot lickers. Damn! How the hell did you get inside here? Have some breakfast. Here, eat this. And down you go. Oh, now you all want to rush in. Okay then, come on. Come on, look, you almost got in a trap. That's it. Gather around now. Hey, can you all climb the shelves? I didn't think so. Too bad, because I can. Your mama must have beat you with an ugly stick 3 times a day. Oh, did I hurt your feelings? Here, bite my foot. Oh, too slow. Now, if y'all will excuse me, I'm just going to jump over to those shelves. Now, on to the other one. All right. Now, I'm truly sorry, but I have to be leaving now. Why don't you all just hold down the fort here? And just to be safe, I'll lock you all in. Hey, you! Hanging from the roof!
Hey, you! Get me down!
All right. Give me a sec. How the hell did you get up there anyway? You climb up there or something?
No, I fell through the skylight.
Makes as much sense as anything else today. Careful of that drop.
Wait, how much of a drop?
Hang on. I'm gonna wheel this fake palm tree over. All right, Clyde. You can do this. Come on. There we go.
You hit the cable!
You should be able to grab the palm.
No.
Oh my.
Dios mío.
Are you okay?
I don't know. Let me check. I guess so.
What happened to you?
It's a long story, but those damn whatever the hell they are ain't my friend.
I'm so sorry.
Thank you. And thank you for getting me down.
I guess it's why I'm here. Oh, my name's Clyde. Clyde Banks.
I am Alonzo Batista.
It's nice to meet you, Alonzo, but there are probably more of those dead things around. You can head up that way and get out of here. And maybe you can go get the police or something.
Where are you going?
I don't think I'm done here yet.
Why don't you leave with me?
You know, I felt kind of dead inside since my wife died 6 months ago. And I think that's why I'm here. Why she wants me here. But for the first time since then, I'm finally seeing a purpose to being alive.
Well, then can I come with you? 2 is better than 1. Probably.
You got a weapon?
I got my bow.
Sure. Come along if you want. So, you gotta tell me, how did you get in that palm tree?
I wasn't in the tree.
Suit yourself, but it sure looked like you were up a tree to me.
Okay, give me some levels. Give me some levels. Do, re, mi.
Hurry up and do this. I'm at 48%.
Is that you or the phone?
That's me.
Sinister Sisters. Welcome to another episode of Sinister Sisters. I am Bane Hellborn with my sister,
Scorpio Girl.
And for our creepy part of the segment, we are talking about creepy small town urban legends.
All urban legends are creepy.
Yeah.
So, and for those of you who don't know what urban legends are, they are spooky, sometimes modern folklore, often used as a cautionary tale or to explain random events, and more often the case for entertainment purposes. In the United States, these legends are often focused around the region of origin, with monsters and mysteries deeply embedded in the place. So, should we start this off? Because I know I went on and found some urban legends. It's supposedly one from each state.
Yeah.
And I know ours are kind of different, so maybe
Yeah.
I've got one part of one city and you found other cities.
Yeah, so we're going to do, it's like same state, different cities. So, yeah. Yeah. Sounds good.
So, sit back and let your ears bleed on this one.
Literally. They will.
Okay, so let's start off with Alabama. Alabama Slammer. Anyway, I've got Hell's Gate Bridge. If you visit Oxford, Alabama to shop at Old Mill Mall, see its famous 67-mile walking track, or literally go to hell.
Oh, okay.
It's just
I thought we were living in hell.
Yeah, well, apparently Alabama has the bridge.
The bridge to hell.
The bridge to hell.
Okay.
So basically, it's just a short drive down the Boiling Springs Road Bridge. Stop in the middle, look behind you, and you'll see the doorway to Hades right through your rearview mirror. Back your car in, and you won't be able to drive out again.
Oh.
I wonder what kind of optical illusion is going on right there.
Yeah. That sounds like some sort of structure that's...
So they did the bridge.
It's like out of view phase or something.
Yeah, there's got to be some, but apparently,
yeah.
Hades.
And I got Dead Children's Playground. Erie Playground adjacent to Maple Hill, Huntsville's oldest cemetery. Doesn't just have an eerie nickname for fun. The playground was presumably designed to entertain kids while their parents visited the graves of loved ones. Legend has it, though, that the spirits of the children who have been buried in the cemetery since the first grave was dug there in 1822 come out to play at night. The living have observed orbs of light going down the slide, seen swings moving on their own, and even heard giggling. Creepier still, some say the spirits include victims of a rash of child murders that happened in the 60s, when bodies were rumored to have been found in the area that now houses the playground. This playground wasn't open until 1985, so you can imagine how much pent-up energy the tiny spirits have after 163 years without a slide. In 2007, the city tried to raise the park to make more room for graves and remove the slides and swings overnight. After public outcry, it was replaced with more modern equipment, making it slightly less creepy to look at, and also probably resulting in some happier ghosts.
That is interesting. I mean,
wow.
Why? I don't know.
Wow.
It's kind of interesting because you also have to think of the time frame. So we're talking about the 1800s, where there was more of a belief in afterlife.
In
I
the
guess.
afterlife, and to placate the spirits.
Yeah, there was definitely more of a belief system. So I'm wondering if that's why. I don't know. It's just a thought. I don't know where
it
I'm
sounds
going
like
with
they
it.
were.
I don't know where I'm going.
It sounds like they were trying to replicate what the Japanese do for their dead. They build a whole city for the dead.
There we go.
So I think that's what they were trying to do.
All right.
Honor the dead somehow.
So we move on to Alaska. You know nothing of this if they ask ya. I love Clutch. I'm sorry. Anyways, mine is called Kushtaka. I don't know if that's a city or a phrase. But
And they're
we'll
not
find out.
tacos. It's Kushtaka, not tacos.
Kush. It looks like it's spelled Kushtaka.
Kushtaka. Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, Alaska, come for the freezing cold, stay for the were otters. Oh my goodness.
Were otters. That's a new one.
I haven't heard of that. But don't bother waiting for the full moon, also known as Kushtaka. These little monsters only come out to help people who are drowning, either by mimicking the voice of a loved one to lull you into drowning faster, or by biting you so that you become a were-otter too and swim to safety. You're welcome.
Wow.
Were-otter.
Okay.
That's...
Were-otter.
Were-otter. That's a good one.
Oh my god. Okay. I've got the Alaska Triangle, encompassing an area ranging from near Juneau in the southeast to the northern Barrow region to the western metropolis of Anchorage. Alaska's answer to the Bermuda Triangle is comprised some of the most barren wilderness in the U.S., and it apparently craves souls. More than 20,000 people have gone missing without a trace in the area during the past half-century alone. Are they being consumed by mythological beings like the beastly Kilut or the ghoulish kidnapper Kalupalik? Lost on extreme hikes or simply vanishing into a dark vortex? No one knows, though it's not for lack of trying. When the government lost House Majority Leader Hale Boggs' Cessna to the Triangle in 1972, a massive search turned up tons of conspiracy theories, but no bodies. The area has been associated with evil spirits, and the Tlingit lore for centuries attributed trickster demons for luring people to an icy death. Others believe the area exists amid an electromagnetically influenced vile vortex. Still others think it's a Darwinian result of explorers taking on nature. Regardless, the area continues to claim people, and underneath the massive blanket of snow and rock likely lies one of the largest and best preserved mass graves in the world.
I would not doubt it at all.
Wow.
I mean, well, isn't Alaska also famous for the abnormally large sightings / abductions / weirdness concerning UFOs and aliens?
Because
as well?
it's remote. Because it's a remote area. So yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right, we move on to Arizona.
Our home state.
Our home state. Mine's kind of lame. It's about the jackalope.
Oh, well, that's what everybody sells for souvenirs, the postcards of the jackalope.
Yeah, yeah. So basically what the jackalope is it's a part jackrabbit and part antelope, and emblazed all over local souvenirs.
Yeah.
Like she says, the postcards. That's primarily it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I think I've seen a couple of taxidermy recreated stuff.
Yeah, but they're really small.
Right. Well, the thing is I don't think they're supposed to be like, I think they're supposed to be the shape of a rabbit. The only reason why it's considered like antelope is because of the horns.
Okay.
I've seen around here, it's really rare because we have bunnies everywhere.
Yes.
But when you go closer out of town towards just the pure deserty area in our hometown, these rabbits are like massive. And they have like kangaroo-like back legs.
Which means they're eating very well. But those are the jackrabbits. The big ones are the jackrabbits.
Whoops.
That's why they're so big.
Okay. See, I didn't, because we have our regular bunnies that I feed every morning.
We have the little buns.
But yeah, I've just noticed when I go out to the edge of the city where it's just mostly just pure desert, I see the big ones. I didn't know those were jackrabbits.
Those are the jackrabbits.
Anyways, if you decide to hunt the most whimsical game in the Southwest,
good luck.
This, right? Jackalope milk may be a highly prized aphrodisiac, but jackalopes are quick and their horns are sharp. All right, who caught a jackalope and decided to be like, I'm going to suck off this teat? Are you freaking kidding me,
I think
people?
somebody had fun with that, because there's just no way a rabbit is going to let you milk them.
I don't think it has anything to do with the consent of the rabbit. A person thought, it's a titty, I'll suck off of it. You people make me sick.
Well, it depends on how old that legend is, because
it's been around since we were kids. And that's the pretty
70s.
long.
That's the 70s.
It's pretty far.
Yeah.
It's pretty old. Shut up.
And I have the Skinwalkers. Woo! In other words, werewolves. It's easy to feel uneasy while driving through the desolate desert roads of Arizona, especially at night, and particularly so when you hear a short burst of taps on your window while cruising at 60 miles per hour and turn to see the shape-shifting, mutilated, half-human creature responsible for the high-speed interruption. What? Relax, it's only trying to rip the flesh off your bones. To quote a movie, "Don't worry, Dave, we only want to kill you."
Right. Or what's that one? What's going on? It's not what's going on. It's what's coming
coming
off.
off?
Your face! Best line ever. Best line ever.
This legend is so ingrained in Arizona culture that when a Navajo woman was found brutally murdered in Flagstaff, the accused killer's defense in court was that the attack could have only been perpetrated by a skinwalker. There's even a defined and well-documented portion of the state known as Skinwalker Ranch, where you are most likely to see one of the creatures. Not that you'd actually want to. Skinwalkers, like so many ancient American urban legends, have roots in Native American lore. While it's fairly hard to gather specific details, as speaking of potentially sinister legends is seriously taboo in Navajo culture, it's understood that what non-Navajos refer to as skinwalkers are witch doctors who have become an evil reflection of everything the Navajo Nation values.
Yikes.
Basically, they are men who've transformed into malevolent, murderous creatures that have no qualms using their spiritual powers to kill. Navajo medicine men are trained to learn both good and evil aspects of their power, and skinwalkers are those who have turned to the dark side. It's all very Star Wars, and frankly, still terrifying. Wow.
That is... Maybe that's where... I mean, I've always heard, don't mess with a Navajo, but now I know why.
Don't piss one off. It will turn into a big
I remember that being... I don't know if it's racially profiled or whatnot, but I remember, even as a little girl, Navajos, don't piss them off.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a reputation of being, you fuck with them, they will fuck with you worse. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
So, that's our state.
Mine was meh.
That's still good. Jackalope, because those things would be creepy to look at.
I mean, it's just basically a normally large rabbit with horns.
That'd still be creepy to find.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, I have the
Arkansas.
Is this how do you pronounce that? Fook?
I think it's Fouquet.
Fouquet. Not to be mistaken with Arrested Development, but Fouquet Monster or Fook Monster. I don't know how you pronounce that, but I'm sure if there's anybody from Arkansas that listens, which I highly doubt it, but...
Well, you never know.
Yeah, that's true.
You never know.
Anyways, if you're in Arkansas, and if you smell something horrible while in the woods of Miller County, try to be polite. This urban legend isn't just a 7-foot-tall, shaggy skunk ape.
Skunk ape!
He's the star of the 1971 classic Legend of Boggy Creek.
Boggy Creek, yeah.
Boggy Creek.
That's an old 70s movie.
And the 4 sequels that followed.
Yeah, those sucked.
Don't they all?
Yeah.
But before you ask for an autograph, snap a picture first, because you'll be the first person to catch him on film since the 70s. Skunk ape.
Skunk ape.
Really, Arkansas?
How about
really 7 foot tall? That's what gets me.
Yeah.
A 7 foot tall skunk ape.
It's the Bigfoot.
Well, California has Bigfoot. But Arkansas.
It's Bigfoot. That stinks.
Yeah, you don't shower for 7,000 years. What do you? All right, what you got, Arkansas?
The Dog Boy.
Of course.
House of 1,000 Corpses had Fish Boy. This is the Dog Boy.
What's this Dog Boy all about?
The name sounds kind of goofy, actually even kind of like Goofy, but if you find yourself at 65 Mulberry Street in the middle of minuscule Arkansas town of Quitman, you won't laugh if you see the hulking outline of a 300-pound half-man, half-beast, complete with glowing animal eyes glaring out of the windows. Walk quickly, as he's been known to chase people down his street biting at their heels, kind of like a dog.
300 pounds?
300-pound man. This is actually the rare urban legend where the story behind the story ends up being even creepier than the folklore. Uh-oh, here we go. Gerald Bettis, the only son of the Bettis family of 65 Mulberry, was always a problem child, but not in the cute Junior Healy way.
Bettis, love that one.
Bettis would collect and torture animals, hence the Dog Boy moniker. Ooh. Before turning his sociopathic focus to his elderly parents, allegedly imprisoning them in their own home and potentially even murdering his father. Eventually, Bettis would be imprisoned for growing marijuana on his back porch and would die in a state penitentiary in 1988 of a drug overdose.
Okay, so where'd the dog part come in?
That he chased him running like a dog.
A 300-pound man.
Yeah.
Barking and nipping at your heels.
Like a dog.
Okay, this would have been a lot better if there was some kind of grandma was a freak.
Well, it sounds like he turned himself that way because he was
schizophrenic,
collecting and torturing animals. No, sociopathic.
Sociopath. I don't know. I don't get this. I was expecting more of grandma was a freak and the house family dog.
Skunk Ape had relations with my wife. There's where it connects.
Yep.
Skunk Ape had relations with grandma.
Holy crow. Well, it's a far stretch from Bettis to a dog, but all right, we'll go there.
But then
it's interesting how he was caught growing marijuana. I mean,
dogs don't know about that.
We just won't go there.
Okay.
I'd like to get into a huge debate about marijuana, but let's not.
That'll be another one.
Yeah. Horror marijuana.
Yeah.
Isn't there
it was a scary movie?
No.
Scary movie where the big giant marijuana plant was trying to smoke Marlon Wayans.
Oh, no, wasn't there some sort of B movie we're trying to show me on Netflix? I don't know, some kind of trauma-esque type.
Oh, yeah.
The weed that kills you back or something.
Yeah.
I never watched it.
Nah.
You just gotta watch certain films in a certain state of mind. And there was no mind of mine to be found on that one. All right, moving on to the next states. California. All right, so what I've got is the Ghosts at the Roosevelt Hotel.
Wait
a minute.
That's a good one. Roosevelt's in Hollywood.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Because I was thinking of When We Lived is a different one. All right. So at the Roosevelt Hotel, you've missed your chance to see Marilyn Monroe on the red carpet, but you can still be haunted by her at the Hollywood Roosevelt Hotel. Monroe is frequently spotted in the full-length mirror by her poolside suite.
Mm-hmm.
And she's not the only celebrity who still wants to see and be seen in the afterlife. Ghostly musicians still play their trumpets at night, and Montgomery Clift reportedly recites his lines in the hallway.
Ooh.
So that is really interesting because, I mean, that's like not uncommon for spirits to go and haunt places that they are attached to.
Well, there's that Oatman. There's that ghost.
Oh, Clark
Gable
and Carol Lombard.
Yeah,
where they honeymooned there.
They honeymooned in Oatman,
and apparently that's a big thing.
And remember, we saw the water faucet turn on.
Yes, that is really weird because so you can go and tour. Well, I don't know now because of the state of if they keep it up or not. But we went there as teenagers, and it's all enclosed, and it was behind glass.
There's a big window you can look in.
And they preserved the room how Clark Gable and Carol Lombard left it, kind of thing.
That was
And we were standing there, and then all of a sudden the faucet turned on, and we're like, hello?
Yeah.
What? But, I mean, they honeymooned in Oatman? I don't know. That's a far-fetched for me.
Other than...
They wanted to get away from it all and go back to the Old West.
They wanted to get away to where nobody knew them. Probably nobody knew them.
Yeah, that's a good one.
And plus, it was such a small town, they weren't going to be massively mobbed.
It wasn't even a town. It was like a mining town that died.
It was a mining settlement
that died real quick.
Yeah.
Real quick. Yeah. But it's a fun place to visit. Like, I'm not kidding you. If you want to go back, I know this is
off topic,
but if you want to go back to the Wild West.
The Old West.
The Old West. As soon as you drive up, the road turns into dirt. You lose all cell phone signals. It's dirt. The whole town is built up like I mean, they never remodeled. I mean, there's just one little main street, and it's done all old wood style,
Old West.
wood
Old West.
sidewalks.
Wood sidewalks.
Donkeys roaming the place. I
Yeah.
mean, you could pet them, feed them. I mean, it is just so amazing. It's like, seriously, every time I go, I feel like my whole body and aura and energy or whatever just like
transported in time.
Seriously,
Yeah.
it's a great place.
Yeah.
It's fun.
And it's got history.
It's got
It's got history.
Oh, especially between the white man and the Native Americans, a huge history.
Of
course, massacres.
It's a big tourist attraction. It's a tourist attraction.
But it's really great.
Yeah,
I love it.
It's small, but
really
it's
small.
But it's worth the time.
It really is.
It's worth the time. And there's tours. There are people you can talk to that are dressed in the style, in the outfits of the time.
Well, yeah, and they
tell you stories.
But not just that, they do old time. Bank robber comes in and they have a shootout fight in the middle of town.
Yeah, at certain times of the day, especially on the weekends.
And it's so fun. It's so fun.
It is lots of fun and it is worth the time.
Yeah, I mean, I've been going since a little girl, and I still enjoy it to this day.
It's been a couple years since we went.
Yeah, but still, I mean, it's still new every time I go.
Oh, sure. Because they add new stuff.
Yeah, I know it was off topic, but it's a great place.
Yeah. And it's haunted.
And it's haunted. The hotel is haunted by celebrities.
Yep. Anyway, Turnbull Canyon. Located near LA between Whittier and City of Industry, Turnbull is a 49,000-acre smorgasbord of nightmare fuel set amid the scenic hills. You want your scares rooted in American history? Here's another one. Natives call it Hatakana, or the place of the devil, where the ghosts of those slain for not converting to Christianity dwell alongside witches and Satanists who reportedly use the place to sacrifice children, whose spirits now walk the canyon and dangle from trees. Wow. They're joined by the ghosts of 21 kids who perished in a plane crash back in '52, allegedly, as there's no record of it. Then there's the remains of the old insane asylum that came back to life to kill a teen in the 60s via a long-dormant electrical wire. There are cults, alien encounters, gravity hills, it goes on and on. Basically, if it's something that gets under your skin, there's a story about it happening in the seemingly cursed canyon. The place's evil vibe dates back centuries, though it wasn't until the site was established as a fur trapping site in 1845 that things started getting really intense, with the word of the site's terrors traveling far and wide and making it a place visited as much for its beauty as morbid curiosity. Oh,
see, you know what? I feel like this is someone messed with the Native American tribe, because it said it was
cursed land.
Yeah, I mean, I don't doubt it. I mean, reports go back to fur trapping days in the 1845, where I just feel that.
But it's 49,000 acres.
I wouldn't doubt it. Do not piss off a culture that's enriched in curses and blessings and
plus it's the ghosts of the dead Indians killed for not turning to Christianity.
See,
so,
I'd be vengeful.
Yeah.
I'd definitely be vengeful.
So, yeah, Turnbull Canyon.
That would be, I wouldn't even want to go there. Just think of the mojo that you could carry with you. The bad mojo that you could carry with you. I mean, seriously, people, stop fucking with each other.
Yeah, because it comes back to bite you.
Literally. You fuck with someone long enough or hard enough, and they don't forget that shit, and then all of a sudden you're like, oops, our generations after generations of generations are fucking cursed.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Yeah. Duh.
Stop fucking with each other. Damn it.
Oh, you got the good one.
I know, I got the good one this time. I didn't get no freaking jackalope. All right. We're on to Colorado. Who can obviously guess what's next? That's right. The Stanley Hotel. So, the Stanley Hotel is so haunted. It scared the Shining right out of Stephen King. If you feel like you two might have a thriller waiting beneath the surface, we suggest that you try a night's stay. Most guests report witnessing paranormal activity, and while Jack Nicholson won't be there, The Shining does play 24 hours a day on Channel 42.
Of course.
Of course it does. And you know what? I don't doubt it at all. Places that have such a rich history.
Well, plus that's also another Indian territory as well.
But here's the thing: some of the differences between real life and the movie / book is the room number. What's the room number in the movie?
237.
237. The real room that they're really talking about is actually 217, but they made it 237 in the book because of the fact that they didn't really want
the room advertised.
Because of how true to being haunted it is. And, you know, that would just be horrible. So anybody that comes up with 237 is, you know, haunted is kind of like, okay, yeah, you're right. You were haunted. Kind of like that conversion theory, you know?
Yeah. But that's also on supposedly Indian land, too. So that's why
doubt it. It's Colorado.
That's why, that's why it's very haunted. There's been many deaths. So, and we know people who work there.
We do?
Well, the podcast knows people.
Oh.
It's Dr. Death and Mr. Vile. Some of those band members work there.
Shut up!
Yes.
Oh my gosh!
Yes.
Good band, by the way.
And also, oh no, wait, maybe not them. 13 Nails? 13 Nails also. The band, some of the band members of 13 Nails work there.
We'll check our facts.
But two bands, they're both in Colorado. So there. Yeah.
What do you got for Colorado?
Riverdale Road.
Riverdale. That just sounds spooky.
Yeah. 11 horrifying miles Riverdale Road near Thornton, Colorado is crammed with enough horrifying legends to bring even the bravest paranormal investigator to his knees. From a ghostly runner attacking parked cars on Joggers Hill to various demons and even a phantom Camaro revving up and down the winding road.
The Wraith.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no, Christine. Christine souped up.
But the Wraith was also about a car.
Yeah. But the gates of hell seem the epicenter. Here's the gates of hell, too.
Ooh.
The physical iron gates are now gone. What remains is the partial shell of an old mansion where a madman supposedly burned his wife and children alive. Left behind are the barren, charred plot of land and a white-clad woman who wanders the area. She's joined by the ghosts of slaves supposedly hanged from the now charred tree. Go ahead and run away when you see something creepy like an ethereal pack of dogs. You're probably just going to bump into something worse, possibly hell, a portal to which some believe is there. That maybe explains why so many demons were conjured in a weird underground chicken coop near a set of underground tunnels. It's unknown when things got really hairy, though given the spirits of ghost slaves, it's safe to assume terrible things have been happening on Riverdale Road since the 1850s. And each time something terrible happened over the decades, it just kind of got stacked onto this nesting doll of a horror show.
Wow. 11 miles of...
11 miles of terror.
I see what you're doing, Satan.
And the
putting
gates...
portals. You're putting portals in select cities.
And gates of hell. Yeah, yeah.
That's interesting.
Wow.
So Colorado's got one, too.
Yeah.
Moving on to Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Never been.
Nope.
But I hear it's nice this time of year. No, I don't know. I just heard that from a movie or something. So anyways, what I've got is called the Little People's Village.
Oh.
Interesting. Fans of architecture and the occult will want to mark the creepily abandoned doll village in the woods of Middlebury, Connecticut on their Google Maps.
Oh.
Abandoned doll village?
Oh.
Hello. The demonic voices that command their architect to build them, then kill himself once he was done, are reportedly still living inside of them. Locals say that you can hear them at night, but as long as you don't have a background in construction, you should be fine. Wow. That is so... You know what's so weird, though, because of this? I used to care provide for this elderly woman. And she had this huge house with a very large backyard. And once she got to like you, she would invite you to her backyard. And when I went back there, she had... Okay, it was a huge town made of toys. And once she got to like you, she would place your little toy in the backyard in like some sort of setting.
Oh.
It was kind of like I didn't know whether to feel honored or creeped out or like
both.
It was really weird. I mean, I loved the woman to death, but I mean, it took a good, I don't know, 6-8 months before she just turned to me and said, I like you, and I have something to show you.
Ooh, that's even creepy in itself.
Yeah, but I was young and dumb at that time, and of course I followed her to the backyard. Not thinking once, oh, she could be luring me to my death, but no, just my own little toy version of me. And it was just weird because the doll looked a lot like me.
It was a doll?
It was like, she had like Fisher Price toys and like real like Cupid dolls and old doll houses. I mean, and she proceeded to tell me, this is you, and here's where you're going to live, and you're next to so-and-so, and this is so-and-so. And I was like thinking, if I have to stand back here and listen to who everybody in this town is. I mean, it was massive. It was massive. And that was the only time I was allowed to ever go back there. It was just that one time of being introduced into the
town.
Do
you know what the name of the town was?
No.
Oh.
I mean, that's a great question, but, being stunned, I was just like, what in the world?
Because you were creeped out.
I was, and that's the thing, too. That was the one and only time I was ever allowed back there. She would never go and sit back there or enjoy it. It was just like, once she liked you.
She put you in her town.
Put you in her... It was interesting. It was really interesting.
Ooh.
How about you? What do you got, Connecticut?
Dudleytown. Often cited as a dark vortex, rumor has it that any visitor that steals an artifact from Dudleytown will have a curse put on them and their family. Dudleytown Forest visitors report seeing just about every kind of paranormal phenomenon that you can think of. People describe an unnerving lack of wildlife in the area, as well as floating orbs of light and sinister wolf-like black shadows, murmurs and disembodied voices, as well as a feeling of general dread. Add on the fact that there's a mysterious group called the Dark Forest Association that polices the grounds with militant force, and you've got yourself a serious case of what the hell is really going on here. The curse of the ill-fated Dudleys began back in jolly old England, where Edmund Dudley was beheaded for conspiring against King Henry VII. This treacherous act apparently unleashed a curse on the rest of the Dudley clan, which immigrated from Guilford, England to Cornwall, Connecticut in 1748. They helped establish a community centered around the town's then thriving iron industry before a series of untimely disasters befell the family. These calamities included a series of mysterious deaths, which in turn inspired madness and suicide among the Dudleys, several of whom disappeared into the woods never to be seen again. The remaining residents very sensibly ditched the town, which had been abandoned ever since. Oh, an abandoned town. Cursed.
I believe it.
Wow. And it's policed by the Dark Forest Association, so people are trying to keep people out of there.
Ooh, and this could be just the cover story of something much more sinister.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, Connecticut.
Ooh, you.
I'm impressed.
You dark little state.
I am impressed.
Yeah.
All right, we're on to Delaware.
Delaware. Hi, I'm in Delaware. Oh,
we both found the same one.
We got the same one.
Okay, so I will do mine, and then maybe you could add to it, just in case. So, Delaware, the ghost of Justice Chew. Pilgrimage to Dover, Delaware.
Dover.
Thanks for the ride, lady. Thanks for the ride.
Yeah.
I hope you people out there appreciate our movie references.
Yeah.
All right. Visit the ghost of Chief Justice Chew.
Samuel Chew.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So he was a justice, but his first name's really
Samuel Chew.
All right. Thanks for that. I didn't have that. Patron saint of all those afflicted with mildly amusing surnames. On autumn nights, he rises hell-bent on revenge against the townspeople who tormented him while he was alive by pretending to sneeze achoo whenever he passed.
Yeah.
Now he has the last laugh and descends on unsuspecting passerbys.
It must really hurt his feelings.
I'm sorry. Okay, black robes billowing in the wind and makes them sneeze like a lot of times in a row.
Yeah.
Locals say it's scarier than it sounds.
Yeah, this may sound funny, but to be there, it might be frickin' scary.
Oh my goodness. So where did this come from?
So Chu was very much a real man, serving as the Chief Justice of the 3 lower counties until he died in 1743. Things got so unsettling that people eventually held a funeral for the ghost in Dover's Green, laying his spirit to rest in an ornate grave. He seemed to be placated, though he's still known to mess with smartasses who sneeze at the mention of his name. Oh, well, yeah, it's like having the last name of Dick or something. Come on.
I know, but you now that I know,
it hurts his feelings.
Now that I know it's 1743,
yeah, because
people were very proper back then, and something like this could really set someone off. I mean, honestly.
He apparently hated it so much that his spirit still stalks those who mock him, showing up in his robes and powdered wig to scare the ever-loving crap out of people. So,
I'm sorry I kept laughing, but come on.
I mean, yeah, but this really hurt his feelings.
Yeah, and I could see how, being that, in 1743, he was a justice, and how back then people were supposed to be very proper and not so juvenile. So I
can understand.
I know, but seriously, you're going to spend your afterlife making people sneeze?
Because they were...
Here's the thing, Delaware. You need to go back. You need to dig up the grave, salt the bones, and burn them.
And then have a chicken wing barbecue. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
No.
Do they do that in Delaware?
I don't know, but Hunter's Burial, I mean, seriously, when there's a ghost that's really messing with you and you can find their bones.
Well, this depends on when they did this funeral. It's definitely after 1743 that they did this funeral.
And plus, back then, again, like I was saying in the beginning, back then, things like spirits in the afterlife and all that was pretty serious. I mean, it was pretty darn serious.
Yeah.
So I
mean, they tried to placate him and give him a proper funeral, but don't make fun of his name.
Yeah, okay.
Ghosts are
next.
Ghosts are sensitive.
You go first. Hello.
Skunk ape in
Copycat.
Florida. In Florida.
We got a copycat. Or the skunk ape from where? Where was it originally?
Arkansas?
It was Arkansas. Okay, so obviously the skunk ape migrated.
Look,
we got
him.
a picture.
That's him.
Jesus Christ. So apparently the skunk ape migrated to Florida.
Yeah. So, skunk ape.
Let's see if it's the same.
The Everglades are filled with an array of terrifying creatures: man-eating alligators, man-eating snakes, man-eating roadkill. And one human-like figure has been spotted enough times to warrant elevated levels of concern: the skunk ape. A relative of Bigfoot, a fully grown skunk ape stands anywhere from 5 to 7 feet tall and weighs approximately 450 pounds.
Jeez, can't miss that.
As opposed to, yeah.
See, you can't miss that.
Yeah. They can be detected by a horrific odor that's been described as sun-baked animal carcass and rotting garbage. Oh!
I mean, obviously, there's...
They eat mostly berries and small animals, but from time to time they've been known to ravage farms and tear wild boars to shreds. Recently, a skunk ape HQ has popped up in the Everglades where you can book tours out into the swamp, reserve a spot on a hunting expedition to finally prove the hairy beast is real.
Oh, I'm sorry. I call shenanigans. Tell me you can miss a 7 to 5 foot, 450 pound thing.
Well,
you can miss this.
Well,
the smell.
I'm sure it doesn't stick out like this. He's got a camouflage. He's got a camouflage.
No.
He's got a camouflage himself.
Y'all are blowing smoke up my ass.
Its lineage can be traced back to Bigfoot. Many believe it migrated south from the mountains and found refuge in the swamplands, an environment safe from humans with ample sustenance and room to roam. Others believe it's just a lore, a tale pioneers created in order to scare people off their lands and preserve the wilderness. Whatever you believe, should you find yourself camping in the Everglades and you smell something of foul, take caution. It could be the skunk ape. Well,
it eats berries and small rodents and tears apart boar.
but it lives in the Everglades.
I don't care. I call shenanigans. You can't miss that, right? The smell, the height, the weight.
Well, sure. Unless it blends in, like I said. You might not see it right away. But you can smell it.
Maybe it's Cousin Larry. Anyways, I've got the Fountain of Youth in Florida. This is really small because people know it's in Florida, but they don't know where. Anyways, with true stories of face-eating cannibals and attack monkeys with herpes.
Jesus.
Florida, get your shit together, I swear to God.
That's why everybody goes to Florida. It's so fun.
Florida doesn't need any more scary stories. Urban legend seekers travel to Florida to visit the Fountain of Youth and its 15-acre theme park.
Oh.
So basically, it's a park. Basically, Florida is saying, we got the skunk ape. We don't need nothing else.
St. Augustine.
Historical attraction.
St. Augustine Archaeological Park. Ponce de Leon's Fountain of Youth Archaeological Park.
See, and I'm here logically thinking if this was so true, if it was really true, unless you're not allowed to touch it.
Probably not.
But anyways.
There's even a website. It's a theme park. Expansive park showcasing 16th century Spanish settlement with historic village sites and cannons.
Where's the Fountain of Youth? Florida. Wedding events. You could have weddings. Yeah. Oh, take a sip. The Spring House holds Ponce de Leon's spring of eternal hope flowing forth for centuries. It's Everglade water. Don't drink it.
You might be shitting like the skunk ape.
Fountain of Youth, you'll be pooping for days. You'll be pooping your big wheel that you used to ride, your high tops. Remember high tops? What else would you be pooping out from your childhood? Don't drink it.
Don't drink the water in Florida.
You'll be pissing out your ass. Your childhood. You'll be pissing out your childhood out your ass.
Florida's radioactive Fountain of Youth.
See, this one I believe. I've been to Florida once and it was...
National Geographic.
Radioactive.
Magnesium. Yeah.
I thought magnesium was good for you.
Not in large doses, it's not.
Well, stop eating all those bananas.
No, that's potassium.
It also has magnesium in it.
Well, apparently Ponce de Leon went to St. Augustine, Florida. That's where it is.
I call shenanigans. But you know what? That's such a double-edged sword of extending your life. Because I'm already sick of it. Why the heck would I want to live for the rest of eternity? But it's a 15-acre theme park.
Okay, in Punta Gorda, a town on Charlotte Harbor, a blocky green-tiled fountain, an empty lot near the harbor. A spigot juts out near the top to release water from the artesian well below. Each of the four sides feature a picture of a ship, a tribute to Ponce de Leon.
What's in the well, man? What's in the well?
A public health notice warns that the water exceeds the maximum contaminant level for radioactivity.
Okay, I knew something was afoul.
But there's somebody who drank out of it every day, and she was 78 years old.
When she died?
In 2013.
Did she die at 78?
Probably.
Yeah, it says for all her 78 years. You'll
Yeah.
live to a healthy 78.
So the
Artesian water.
the real Fountain of Youth is radioactive water.
See, that's more believable. That's way more believable.
Okay.
Shall we move on to Georgia? Georgia on my mind. I know that's not the tune. I just wanted to be fancy.
Georgia, what you got?
I've got club hopping vampires.
Oh, you got the good one.
All right. Friends of Anne Rice will want to spend an evening at Atlanta's Masquerade nightclub.
Yes.
Locally famous as the club of choice for actual vampires.
Yep.
Tourists come to soak in the goth vibe and spot the creepy tall man in black who roams the building at night. Freak accidents, disembodied screams, and unexplained fires have also been reported there, making many suspect that vampires aren't the only urban legend haunting the place.
Ooh.
Arsonist vampires. Disembodied screams.
Yeah, that's a yearly vampire masquerade ball down there.
Oh, well, it's
So,
not so much urban legend as it is a party.
It's a vampire party.
Club hopping vampires.
And I've got the curse of Lake Lanier. Massive man-made lake north of Atlanta, so this is north of Atlanta, is unnerving on multiple fronts with a reputation for tragic and sometimes mysterious deaths from a disproportionately high frequency of boating accidents and drownings to unexplained homicides. A construction crew discovered the skeleton of a woman who disappeared in 1958, still trapped in her car at the bottom of the lake more than 30 years later. And since then, people have reported sightings of ghostly female figure on the lake's water. There are even reports of malevolent catfish lurking on the bottom that's large enough to swallow a dog or even drown a diver. We have those, the killer catfish at the base of the dam.
But you know what? Those catfish can get huge. Well, what do they call that? Those rednecks? Sorry, rednecks. But isn't it called mudding? Mudding? I don't know how.
Yeah.
But when they pull out those catfish are like dang near 150 pounds and huge.
Yeah. That means they're getting lots of food.
I wouldn't doubt it.
And they look like giant snakes.
Well, they're
because they're long. They're really long
and they're slick.
Yeah. There were numerous issues with the construction of the lake, not the least of which included the displacement of families, businesses, and even cemeteries occupying the land the Army Corps of Engineers sought to develop. The vestiges of some of these structures still have a ghostly presence at the bottom of the lake, which some point to as a source of Lanier-haunted reputation. Others point to the simple water plus alcohol equal accidents formula to explain the tragedies. Lanier is a notoriously party lake.
We're familiar with that.
Yeah, we live at a party lake.
We live on a party lake, yep.
But as noted above, many of the deaths go beyond simple boating accidents, leading some to believe there's something more sinister at work.
No, it's just people being stupid.
But
because with the car accident, I mean, I'd like to know, like, because there's been a lot of stories of, teenagers gone missing, maybe they ran away, and then when the water lowers like abnormally lower, then you see a car pop up and it's like, oh my gosh, they were there the whole time.
So this sounds like it's got to be something else too, because so many
I would like you should have explained more about the unexplained homicides, like maybe because of dumping bodies kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And why was this a man-made lake? Like, how big is it? Like,
it doesn't say.
Facts, people, facts.
Yeah, it just says a massive man-made. Apparently, could be
enough to boat on.
It's big enough to boat on. It's possibly they might have made it covered a town.
Oh, a flooded town. That makes sense.
Yeah, because they were doing that. They were doing that back in those days. They were flooding, relocating people out of the town,
so
and then they flood the town
the
to make the lake.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh yeah, and like the movie "Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?" Mm-hmm. Okay, this makes sense. Of course, people.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
So there's the vestiges of some of these structures still have a ghostly presence at the bottom of the lake. So it's a flooded town. Yeah.
Good job, Georgia. I'm impressed on that one, especially since we cracked the case. All right, what's next?
Hawaii.
I've got the Spam traffic jam.
What?
Please tell me it's a plastered meat. No. Okay. Visit Oahu to meddle in deities. Centuries-old relationship squabbles. No one's exactly sure what happened between volcano goddess Pele and her half-man, half-pig ex-lover, Kamapua.
Mm-hmm.
But now Pele doesn't allow pork on her side of the island.
Oh.
Try to drive there with it in your car, and it will be stopped in its tracks until you feed the pork to a passing dog. Now that's pettiness worth traveling for.
Oh.
Pele
is
jilted by her half pig ex-lover.
Ugh.
Now she no longer...
She no longer allows
ingests
pork on her side of the island.
You get that meat off my island.
Yeah, you're not coming across until you feed it to that dog.
Ooh. That's pretty sinister. I believe it because goddesses and gods are pretty vindictive.
And can be petty.
And very petty.
Can be petty.
I believe it.
Let's see. The Night Marchers.
Ooh.
Huacalpo, if I'm pronouncing that right. Picture yourself on a scenic Hawaiian beach at night. Imagine a full moon and a cool breeze running across the sand. Dreamy. But if you hear the faint sounds of drums pounding in the distance or see a barrage of torches out on the horizon, it could be your worst nightmare. These spirits of ancient Hawaiian warriors dedicated to protecting the islands from all outside threats will only spare your life if you reportedly lay face down, pee on yourself in submission, or if miraculously share a bloodline with one of the warriors. Good luck peeing on yourself, tourist.
Trust me, when I'm scared, I piddle like a puppy.
Yeah. So the first alleged encounter with the night marches, known as the Huacalpo in Hawaiian, was recorded when Captain Cook arrived on Hawaiian shores in 1778. The Hawaiian tradition, the night marchers' role in life was to protect sacred members of the community. In modern times, their spirits have been reported all throughout the islands, mainly at the sites of sacrificial temples and other sacred grounds. Oh, and the decidedly corporate Davies Pacific Center building in downtown Honolulu. Apparently, they will still protect the island from outsiders, and if you buy into the legend, they always will. Oh, so this is more of them commanding the respect they're due.
Well, I mean, fallen warriors. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
You've got to...
Well, this is right up there with making fun of somebody.
True.
Ugh.
But, you know, I mean, it's kind of the culture.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, warriors are a big deal.
Well, for Hawaii, yeah.
I mean, and I keep saying I mean, but I'm sorry.
Yeah. So, do not be disrespectful.
And pee yourself often.
And pee yourself. You got to pee yourself, because that shows that you are terrified.
You submit.
You submit.
I submit. I pee. I pee. I submit.
Please don't kill me. Well, that explains a lot.
It does. Sorry, inside joke.
Inside joke that we're not explaining.
All right. Idaho, what you got for us other than your potatoes?
Apparently
I've got dire wolves.
Oh, that's a good one.
If you're secretly sure that you're a long-lost member of House Stark, let the old gods guide you to the Idaho Rocky Mountains. Locals there have been reporting very large wolves and savagery on domesticated animals for years now. Get eaten by them, and unfortunately that means you're not a member of a fictional royal family, and you have our fictional condolences.
Ooh.
Oh, dire wolves.
That's
a nice one.
Those are legendary.
Very legendary for Idaho.
Idaho. Who knew?
Wow. Who knew?
The Phantom Jogger of Canyon Hill.
Is his name Forrest?
Nope, he's the Midnight Jogger.
Ooh. Yipes.
There are rumors of many hauntings in Caldwell, Idaho's century-old Canyon Hill Cemetery, but the one that gets the most attention is the Midnight Jogger. As with many of the best urban legends, you have to do your part to get her attention. It's a her.
Oh, it's a her.
It's a her. You have to, yeah. In this case, it involves parking between certain trees in the cemetery at night. Do it right, and the legless apparition will knock on your window to let you know she's there, then continue on her route. It's creepy as hell, though now it's only the second worst image conjured when you think of sinister joggers. The origins are unknown, though considering there's another conspiratorial legend that the entire state of Idaho doesn't actually exist, perhaps the jogger is just a creation of a deranged and deceptive government. Oh, Idaho!
Oh, watch out, Idaho. The government doesn't like you.
Government doesn't like you, and it doesn't want you on the map.
That's interesting, though, that it's only if you park your car between certain trees at the cemetery.
Yeah.
And she's just there to be like, hi, I'm here.
Hi.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi. Bye.
But you don't see her legs.
It's just so, like, what? She just...
That's weird. That's weird. Why?
Why would it just be like hi and bye? Like why?
Yeah, why?
Unless that's a, what do you call that when ghosts replay a certain event in time?
Echo.
No. It's another word.
Loop.
No. It's a certain word that ghost spirits, they just replay a certain part in time.
Hang on.
They're not intelligent hauntings, they're
residual energy?
Residual. No, it is residual. A residual haunting versus an intelligent haunting.
Right.
So maybe that part of her timeline she's reliving is a residual haunting regardless. Like that's part of...
But it's still part of what before she died.
Right.
So on her jog, she got killed somewhere.
I wonder if anybody's ever followed her after, her knocking on your window.
It sounds like something somebody should do. Follow her.
And see if it is, because a residual, there seems like she's reliving over and over.
So, and she'd probably stop at the point where she died.
Not necessarily.
Well, yeah.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, because that'd be the end of her jog.
But no one knows because it hasn't been documented that someone actually followed her.
But I'm saying the residual, that's where it stops, at the point where they died. And then it replays again before she died and then till she died.
So maybe the first part was she knocked on someone's window and that person, the original person, killed her at that point?
Or, yeah, something. Or, like I said, if somebody followed her, then there could have been somebody in the woods knowing that this person did a nightly routine, killed her.
All right.
So, yeah, residual. Thank you, Supernatural.
Wait, or trying to get someone's attention to follow her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
To show how she died.
I'm going to be stuck on the residual thing.
Yeah.
A residual haunting.
Because it's a loop. It sounds like she's stuck in a loop of before she died to when she died.
So every midnight.
Well, yeah.
Technically, midnight jogger. It's got to be around that time frame.
Interesting.
Very interesting. Questions, Idaho. Questions. All right, what do we got next?
Illinois.
I've got the Murfreesboro Mud Monster.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
So spot the Murfreesboro Mud Monster and you'll be helping close the most investigated unsolved mystery of the Murfreesboro Police Department. They've been on this case of 7-foot-tall, blonde, hairy, muddy monster. You guys got to get original. Come on. This is original, but you're getting ridiculous now. Okay, again, let me state this. 7-foot-tall, blonde, hairy, muddy monster. Since it's terrorized teen couples on a 2-day, we think we saw something outside our window while we were making out spree back in 1973.
Whoa.
Or it could be a very, very hairy, muddy drug dealer. Drug addict. Whoops. Not dealer, addict.
This is getting ridiculous.
They're an
Tell me you can't... Again, one last time.
I don't even know.
7-foot-tall, blonde, hairy, muddy monster. I'm calling shenanigans. That's the parents got together in a cock-blocking...
to make sure that's all they did was just make out, not go any further.
Because
in the cars.
Seriously.
This is the makeout lane cock-blocking monster.
This is one of those stories that parents tell their kids to keep it above the clothesline. Above the pant line.
Yeah.
Over the clothes.
Keep the clothes on. Nothing gets unzipped.
That's my take on this, because this was too ridiculous to be like. What do you got for Illinois?
The Italian Bride.
Ooh, sounds good.
An elaborate marble statue of a woman in a wedding dress is bound to stand out in a cemetery as it is, but that's not what's driven the Italian Bride to be subject of local fascination. Upon closer inspection, there is an actual photo plaque on the gravesite of a woman in a casket, looking perfectly preserved, even though, as an inscription notes, the photo was taken 6 years after burial, after the body was exhumed. Reports of unusual activity cover everything from the smell of fresh flowers near the gravesite, in the dead of winter to the ghostly figure of a woman in white roaming the cemetery, or the halls of nearby Proviso West High School in the dead of night. Oh.
So where'd this story history come from?
So, 1921, recently married Julia Bucola Petta died in childbirth and was buried in her wedding dress. Legend has it her mother immediately began experiencing nightmares that Julia was demanding her grave be reopened. The source of the distress varies depending on the storyteller, often relating to some sort of discontent with Julia's new husband. But what isn't in dispute is that 6 years later the mother got her wish, and Julia's pristine condition inspired her to raise funds for the statue that's been creeping out generations ever since. Ooh. So this is a woman in white haunting.
I think she's just demanding to get out because she's like, this river needs to go.
I was interested. This was
Wow.
interesting. I wouldn't doubt it. Italian, jilted.
Well, no, she died in childbirth.
That's still getting jilted from being a mother. You know, Italian women, you know, they love family, they love children, they love... Well, I don't know if that's a stereotype or if I'm just being racist, but, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she still looks good, even
And
after death.
She still looks good, which could possibly not only be woman in white, but vampire.
Ooh, vampire!
Vampire would explain it to why her body is still perfectly preserved.
I love the twist.
Vampire.
That was a good twist.
There you go.
Let's go on to Indiana.
Indiana.
Traveling to Indiana. I've got the spook lights on Bruick Road. So, some fun facts about Fort Wayne, Indiana. For one thing, it's haunted by spooky lights. Drive along Bruick Road at night, and they'll pop up above the tree line, change colors and sizes, and chase your car for a while until they get bored and wander off. Fort Wayne also has a large number of Burmese restaurants, including one that serves great coconut noodle soup. These two facts are unrelated, but both are pretty interesting. Reasons to visit Fort Wayne. Lights.
Spooky lights. But some good food.
Yeah, apparently it's to die for coconut noodle soup. That sounds really good, though.
That does sound good.
That sounds delish.
I'm hungry.
Spooky lights. So what do you think this could be? Because obviously it can't be UFO.
No.
Because
well, it doesn't describe what kind of lights.
It says
spooky
changes
lights.
colors, sizes.
Well, it doesn't. Okay.
Chases car around. I say they're pixies.
Pixies.
Because aren't pixies like they're playful but they're mean?
Yeah, or they're sometimes just playful.
And then mean?
And then mean.
Don't mess with a pixie.
Nipples. She had nipples.
She had nipples. So,
or
Indiana.
it could be very tiny spaceships.
Batteries not included.
Batteries not included. Very tiny spaceships that light.
Interesting.
Well, I've got a naked ghost.
Lucky.
Diana of the Dunes.
Ooh.
Along the shores of Lake Michigan, fishermen, vacationers, and other passerbys have reported sightings of Diana, a ghostly nude female apparition floating along the shoreline and eventually disappearing into the water without a trace. So this is...
a mermaid.
It's another woman in white because she stops. She disappears where she died.
It's a
She
mermaid.
drowned. Mermaid, okay. Floating along the shoreline. All right. Fishermen first started reporting the sightings of a woman skinny dipping in the waters off Indiana's Lake Michigan ghost line in 1916.
Ooh.
That's around the time of the 12 Days of Terror in Jersey.
There we go.
And that's because Alice Gray, the source of the Diana legend... If she's Alice Gray, why is it Diana?
Oh, wasn't Diana the name of the woman that rode naked on horseback?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, that was Godiva.
Oh, Godiva.
The source of the Diana legend was still very much alive at that point. The exact circumstances that caused her to live a reclusive life in a lakeside shack aren't entirely clear, but the years that followed saw her marry a man who later became a murder suspect and then die an early death, allegedly from uremic poisoning. Her ghostly presence has been a subject of local folklore ever since, so she did get killed.
Okay, she got killed, but her name's Alice, but they call it Diana.
They call it Diana.
Get your shit together, Indiana.
Wait. She was called Diana for the goddess Diana.
Oh, see, I knew it was something.
Because...
So the goddess of Diana. Okay,
Goddess
so
Diana.
so what was the goddess of Diana? Because she's
She's called Diana of the Dunes. She was actually a respectable working girl, editorial secretary for a popular magazine.
Alice died in her home shortly after the birth of her second daughter. The official cause of death was said to be uremic poisoning, complicated by repeated blows to the back and stomach. Wilson disappeared and later turned up in California prison serving time for auto theft. The fate of Alice's daughters is unknown. So, ended the life of Alice Gray, or did it, Legends?
So, wait. She died in her home after the birth of her second daughter, but she was poisoned and then beaten to death. So they don't know what happened to her children, because the husband got sent to jail.
So then
got
could
sent to
this be
prison.
another residual haunting? Because, like you said, she disappears at a certain point. So it's a residual haunting.
Okay.
Because it couldn't be an intelligent, because she doesn't... It's just reports of sightings. There's no kind of interaction. There's no nothing. So this is a residual haunting. What is uremic?
Manifestation of kidney failure.
Oh.
Excess of amino acid and protein metabolism end products, such as the urea and creatine in the blood that would be normally excreted in the urine. Oh, so it's like backed up. It's backed up.
So she wasn't murdered if it was uremic poisoning. That was her own body killing her.
But she was also beaten to death.
She was beaten to death. Okay.
So she had a backed up kidney, which put her in renal failure.
But she did get...
But she was beaten also.
She was beaten.
So after giving birth, she had backed up kidneys, but she was beaten. Great. But they must have been pretty high that they said the cause of death is the uremic poisoning.
Well, I mean, obviously they do in
1916?
Autopsy. Yeah, they were doing 1916.
Yeah.
Well, it said 1915 in that other one.
Yeah.
So possibly she died in 1915. A year later, they start seeing sightings.
Yeah.
And she was named after the goddess Diana.
Yeah.
It's got to be a residual haunting. There's no interaction. It's just reported sightings. And she disappears after...
She goes for a swim.
She goes for a swim. She loved that place. She was living, out there in a shack with a shitty husband.
Oh, otherwise named Artemis.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Artemis.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goddess of wild animals and the hunt.
And the hunt.
Because she lived out there on the
In
shores in nature.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's why.
So she goes for a swim. Okay.
It just sounds like they were grasping at straws between Alice and this actual ghost.
Okay, wait. Something else. So first she was a recluse before she died.
But she had a husband and 2 kids.
She had a husband and 2 kids.
See, now look at this. How could there be sightings in 1916 when in 1920 Alice met a drifter
She died.
named...
No, but she died in 1925.
Okay, so you know what?
So she met a drifter in 1920 who moved in with her in the shack.
But it can't be the same person.
They
The
stayed
timeline
together.
is...
They stayed together till 1922.
The timeline's messed up.
The badly burned and beaten body of a man was found on the beach, and police suspect that Wilson had a hand in it. Oh!
Jilted lover.
He was questioned but let go. And they moved to nearby... He and Alice moved to nearby Michigan City, Indiana, where they made a small living selling handmade furniture. Alice bore her husband 2 daughters, but he treated her terribly, often beating her severely.
So maybe this is just a residual ghost of someone that Paul could have...
Where they used to live. Where they used to live before they moved.
So this is a residual haunting of one of his victims. And it's not Alice. It's a residual haunting of one of her husband's...
No, but it says it's her returning to the beach and being in the wilderness.
I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
Perhaps she still does walk here, the trials and pain of her lonely and sad life forgotten, at least for a time, as she vanishes along her beloved beach or disappears into the waters of the lake. And this is near Gary, Indiana. Wow. The Dunes State Park. Well, it seems like this list is way bigger than we thought.
Yeah, we're going to have to wrap this up. I'm now at 21%.
So, this is part 1. Stay tuned for part 2.
Should be spooky.
This is EMZT Radio. Come and let your ears bleed.
And that wraps up another episode of EMZT Radio. No interview this week, unfortunately, but
none.
We'll get it next time.
Hey, I don't know if you heard this or not, but since we are on a horror podcast and he's kind of a horror character, he is an actor in a horror movie, a couple of horror movies. Glenn Jacobs, you may know him better as WWE superstar Kane.
Oh!
Became mayor, actually won the election, and is now mayor of Knox County, Tennessee.
Mayor Kane.
Yeah. So,
Nice.
Outside of professional wrestling and acting, Glenn has a big-time insurance company in Knox County. So, ironically, some people may have insurance from Kane.
That's awesome.
Could you imagine him, like, if he gets really angry with the city council or the county council, just coming into that red mask? Or that, what was that mask he was wearing in See No Evil? Didn't he have like a worse mask, almost like a welder's mask?
Yeah,
See No
something like
Evil?
that.
Yeah. He could wear that to one of the county council meetings.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'd
I'd
love to
scare
see
the
it.
shit out of everybody, make them say, okay, just don't kill me.
Pass my bill. So anyways, congratulations, Glenn. Absolutely awesome. Hey, we got some announcements that we have to make. First off, we're moving from Mixer to Twitch.
Yep.
We're going to start doing more with Twitch. Hopefully, we will be doing some more videos with Twitch and some other live content with Twitch other than gaming, but we're going to start with gaming on Twitch.
Yeah.
So enjoy that. It's still the same, EMZT Productions over at Twitch. We need about 30, a little bit under 30 to get affiliate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have to have 50 followers on Twitch to get affiliate. So if you want to be the 30 people that do that, then we could do some fun stuff.
Yeah, please.
Absolutely. I think that's really it, though. Check out our Live 365 network channel, whatever you want to call it. Just go to our radio station on Live 365. Listen to some good music and some good podcasts on Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon, starting at 1 Eastern Time. The Potter and Family Pod Block is there. I want to thank our friends in the Potter and Family. Good people. And do you have anything else you want to do, Bane, before I start whoring ourselves?
No, other than check out all our friends' links to buy their stuff, their merch, hats, t-shirts, whatever, music. Support our friends like we are.
Yes. When we get a chance to support our friends, we do.
And please buy a t-shirt from us, too.
Absolutely. We got new t-shirts are coming. New t-shirts are coming soon. New t-shirt designs are coming. We have 2 designs up in the shop right now. So
yeah.
The
So
Puzzle
grab
Box
one.
shirt and the regular EMZ t-shirt is there. All right. Other than that, you know the drill. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other things. Links in the description. Links in the description. Links in the description. If you want to get a hold of us, emztradio@gmail.com. And I am done.
And stay tuned for another episode of EMZT Radio.
Good night and good luck.